Hello students, today in class we're going to be continuing to draw our positive and negative space. Take a look around and you can see some setups at the tables. Right, you can see each table has a little bit of a different setup, and you're welcome to use any of the setups at any of the tables. So if you're not crazy about the one that I set up at your table, you are free to use one of the other setups. Okay, let's focus in on this one here. Okay. You can see where we're going to create positive and negative space. I'm going to show you in a moment how to use a viewfinder or your camera on your iPad or phone to help you create interesting compositions for positive and negative space. This tool that you see at your table is called a viewfinder, and it's nothing more than a rectangle cut into a piece of black paper. And the purpose of the viewfinder is very similar to the purpose of a viewfinder in a camera. It is meant for you to hold up and look at areas of the drawing or of the still life that's set up and find interesting compositions. Remember, the word composition means what we actually allow on our paper. Okay? So you can use this tool along with your camera on your iPad or your phone to decide on which areas are going to be very interesting for you to draw the negative space when you're doing this. Okay? Don't be the person that zooms in on this area right here where there's absolutely nothing. Be like, oh, this looks good. Oh, I'm going to draw basically the little corner of that little teapot and maybe a little bit of leaves. Okay, not an interesting composition. There's literally nothing in your viewfinder. Right? You need to find areas, and you could also turn vertically, it does not have to be horizontal, finding areas where you're having a balance between positive and negative space. That is your goal. Positive space and negative space are equal, and there's the same amount. So you can use your camera or simply just look at what's through the viewfinder, and we're going to draw some thumbnails. So you need 3 different compositions. If you want to use your camera, please go for it and take pictures. This could help you along the way. All right, I just used the word thumbnail in that last clip. And what is a thumbnail drawing? A thumbnail drawing is a small practice sketch. Okay? It's not meant to be a final drawing. It's meant to be a practice for the final drawing. Right? So in order to do a thumbnail sketch, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just draw a small box on our sketch pad. Okay? I'm talking like 2 inches by 3 inches. You do not need to measure, and you do not need to use perfectly straight lines. That is the perfect size for a thumbnail sketch. Okay? Now, keep in mind that your thumbnail sketches can be vertical or they can also be horizontal. It will all depend on which way you've turned your viewfinder. Okay? If your viewfinder or your picture is this way, you will want a box like this. If it is like this, you will want a box that is vertical. Okay? And I am referencing a photo that I took. So this photo is taken in the landscape mode, horizontally. So I'm going to put that in the horizontal box that I've created. Okay? Remember, we are only drawing negative spaces and positive spaces, which means no interior lines. So when you do your thumbnail sketches, make sure you're referencing your photo, okay? Or you're looking directly at it. Remember, no interior lines, and shade with your pencil the negative space so you can keep track of what's the positive and what's the negative. The goal here is to have equal positive and equal negative space, so make sure you don't have too much of one or the other. By the end of the class, you want to try to have 3 finished thumbnail drawings. Okay? Take your time. I'd rather you have 2 really good ones than 3 mediocre drawings. Okay? So take your time and really study and look at where your objects are being placed and how they interact with each other. I want accurate drawings that require concentrated effort. Okay? I will be around today to help you, but by the end of the period, I would like to see 3 drawings. If you finish early, the more the better. You can turn to the next page and create more until the period ends. We will be taking these 3 thumbnail drawings, and tomorrow we will be picking your most successful thumbnail and then transferring it to a good piece of paper for the next part of our project. Okay? So please do not delete any of the pictures that you may have taken on your camera today. You will probably need them to reference tomorrow as well.